Brought to you by Uganda First.
Hello, welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to inspire you and equip you as a young person, as a Ugandan, to be able to contribute towards this country's development and be part of everything that really unfolds. Now, insecurity has been increasing at a very, very high rate. Look at, kidnaps, murders and stuff. And the recent bombings here in the capital, all that leaves people a bit, astonished and in fear. But how can we as Ugandans, as we always say, that security starts with you as an individual, be able to contribute to the security and peace of this country? Today, that's what we are discussing right here on Youth of Purpose. My name is Ivan Tumkonde.
My name is Ishimwe Cathy.
Cathy, how have you been?
Good, how have you been?
Good, you're looking very, very fine.
Thank you. You're
Amazing.
Also looking mwah.
Thank you. So, how does the current security situation in the country make you feel?
Scared, first of all. Whenever I'm moving around, I'm always like, am I safe? It's not like it used to be.
Yeah, we shouldn't be scared, but because what I
We shouldn't be scared, really?
Yeah, what I understand, because that's the intention of the enemy. Whatever the actions they are doing is to make us be frightened, to see people moving out of the city, seeing offices closed. That's the intention. So when we get the fear, then we're giving them exactly what they need, which we shouldn't, actually.
So I should wake up, if I'm to sleep,
yeah,
go
stand
to sleep,
strong
if I'm
and
to
say,
work, I should go and work.
Go and work, and all you have to do is to take precaution and say, for example, you avoid overcrowded places, but also be very vigilant with people that do surround you. Like the police has been, telling us on being vigilant. You see someone who is behaving in a way that is abnormal, carrying bags that they really look a bit suspicious. So all that should be able to make you be a bit more vigilant and say, what's up? Anything you don't understand, then you reach out to the police and they can be able to help out. In a young person's perspective, what is security to you?
To me, I feel security begins with me. It's a matter of knowing the people that are like within my surroundings.
Yeah.
Where I am I safe? Things of just moving for that is not being cautious about your life. It's like you're putting yourself at risk, the people at home. So the moment you know where you're going, the people you're moving around with, what kind of people you're moving with, what do they do, and then the places you go to, you should make sure that wherever I go, there's this tendency, most especially within us, I should say the youth, these things of she's been single for a while, so I should connect her to probably one of my friends, and then you go through, I don't know how many people, it's like the person you're going to connect the other person to, you're not even sure of the person that you're giving them to. Let's say I'm your friend Ivan, and then you have your other friend, and then the friend has the other friend.
And then we want to hook you up with the other person.
Hook up you with the other person, simply because even the other person is single, but you really do not know much, and then you foolishly say it's okay without even having to find out the person. Just find out, Google the person, get to know, which at least if it's someone that doesn't have what to hide, they'll have the information. It would be easy to find me. Is
that the reason, for example, we see the rape cases?
Exactly. You find a girl walked up in a man's house, she doesn't know how she got there, she doesn't know,
Yeah,
the groups we are moving around with.
And most especially that affects, young girls at universities.
Very true.
You just move with a group of girlfriends, you're getting to a bar, but the friends you're moving with behind their back, they will understand they are hooking you up with someone that you don't really know. So the moment you get drunk, you're no longer in charge of yourself.
Very true. It's when you wake up, you find yourself with a man, you have done things, you don't know whether it was protected, you don't know whether you're safe, you don't know. At the end of the day, you come out maybe with diseases. If you don't come out with the diseases, you have a pregnancy that you're not ready for. You just find so many things that are disorganizing your whole life. So I feel we should be so careful while choosing friends. And then, yes, it's okay to go out, have fun with friends, but Be mindful of the people that you're moving with. First, select those nice ones.
Yes.
Yes, some people can pretend, but it's a matter of like taking your time, analyze, say, okay, this person is nice when I'm hanging out.
Okay.
This one, no.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to be listening in to a number of young people. We are right here at Makerere University, and we'll be speaking to them to well understand their opinion on peace and security and the role they can play as young people, as youth, to make sure that they, ensure security of our nation, Uganda, but also their personal security, because it's us, it's you as an individual to be secure first, and then security of the nation. Let's listen in to them. We'll be right back.
I'm called Darius Navasa, Stephen. The responsibility of youths in the Uganda current security situation, it's a call to everyone in this country, mostly youth, because we should be so much vigilant about what is going on in the country. Because you cannot repair life, so we have to avoid the big gathering of the people. Even when we are moving, we have to take caution of the people we are moving with. Mostly because youth, we are the ones that are carrying out the bags. So we are the ones who are most likely boat to take the bags of the bombs. So the bombers are targeting youth because youth takes the bigger percentage of the nation, of this country, Uganda. So we as youth of this country, of Uganda, we should take note of the security in the country. We should not wait for the UPDF to come and intervene in the matter, no. Let us take caution of each and everyone that we are moving with, even your close friends. If you see something not sure, you're not aware of anything, go and report to the police. All of us students, people who are studying, we are still students at the university. This is an institution where everyone enters the university, even out of nowhere. You find someone comes from nowhere and enters the university. So it's a call to us as students to be aware, to be cautious of the situation around town, even around campus. Because someone can enter with a bomb, with a bag which is full of the bomb. And if you're not aware of that, you're dead. So we should avoid the public gathering in this university, because those bombers are targeting the public gathering. So if we are more than two, let us take caution with the security.
Hello viewers, my name is Wilson Musinguzi, a master's student at Cavendish University and the chairperson of the Patriotism Chapter, Cavendish University. The youth have a significant role to play in national security of this country. One, we have to use the available resources of the advanced technology that we have. For instance, the social media is very important. We should use the social media to educate, to sensitize and create awareness about the dangers of violence, about the dangers of bad elements. Most of us spend time criticizing and fighting wars of things that don't build our country. The security of our country is not only for police and other agencies, but it involves us, the youth, since we are the future generation. Another thing we can look at the role of the youth. We can as well look at their engagement in patriotism lectures. Patriotism teaches us about our country, where Uganda and Africa have come from. Once we, the young people, understand where Uganda and Africa have come from, we can be able to soldier on with the same ideologies of the Pan-African people like Nelson Mandela, Yoweri Museveni, Kwame Nkrumah. We should not be indoctrinated by the bad elements from other countries that make us Africans fight and cause insecurity. Also, the youth must engage with police. The relationship with the police and the youth is very significant. I am encouraging the youth to really unite and come up with what we call the National Community Outreach Initiative. This National Community Outreach Initiative, it is about security. Once you form a youth office that can create or that can alert security matters, it will be of benefit. University students together with my friends, we started what we call Violence Hapana. Violence Hapana is a campaign that moved universities to preach about the dangers of violence and national security. It is our role to participate in the new policies, but also I call upon police and other agencies to work with the young people in order to relate themselves on security issues. 77% constitute the youth of our country, Uganda. According to the statistics of 2019, 2.48 are unemployed youth. I urge all this energy to be used by the government. The government should look at these people as very useful in terms of securing our future. And the youth also must develop a heart of patriotism that has principles like sacrifice, principles like discipline, love for your country. We have principles like democracy. We have principles of social economic transformation and nationalism, not forgetting Pan-Africanism. I thank you.
Hello, my name is called Nnamuleme Rosemary from Makerere University. I speak at Patriotism Chapter, Makerere University. The youth, they cover the largest population in Uganda, and we are the nation builders. One great thinker said that the youth are nation builders and they are the trustees for prosperity, and that was Benjamin Disraeli. So the youth should be self-conscious. They should be keen. They should report everything that is happening, everything that they are seeing that is not normal. They should report it to the security officers around them so that they can be alerted. The second thing I'll say, the youth should also engage themselves with these organizations that fight conflicts to ensure that they bring national security. They should develop love for their country, and that is patriotism, because if you have love for your country, what I've discovered is that it is mostly the youth that are targeted. They are the people that they are used during this time. Reason being, there is the problem of socio-economic problems among the youth, and this should be done by empowering them and educating them through patriotism. We always organize public lectures for patriotism, taking them for training, and if one has developed love for his or her country, one cannot do that bad to his country when they have the love for their country inside them. So I call upon the youth to participate with the conflict organizations to ensure that Uganda is at peace.
Hello, my name is Poni Ayikoru, and I'm a student of law at Uganda Christian University. I also serve there as the guild speaker. So I am very keen with student leadership and youth participation in governance of Uganda. Well, today I'm here to speak about how the youth can get involved in the security of our nation and also East African community at large, because recently we have had talks to do with integration of East Africa. Now, my speech today is going to be characterized by three aspects. One is the fact that youth cannot be excluded from policy making and in security keeping in the nation. Why? Because 78% of the population in Uganda is characterized by the youth. And the youth are very energetic, they have the interest, and the platform is there. However, what is missing is the individual capacity to actually participate in these policy makings or these decision making tables on security in the nation. Why is this so? Many youth at times are not interested in participating in these places. The platforms are there, you involve them, you make an advertisement, you tell them that there is actually a peacekeeping talk happening, or there is this you have to participate in, but the youth will probably ignore it, thinking that these are things for the elderly. But I'm here to tell my fellow youth out there that it is our role to participate in security of our nation. It begins with us, that when such platforms are available to us, we have to participate, and through participation we can actually have a voice to speak through the National Youth Council, which is actually headed by Mr. Jacob Beyeru. the chairperson, he has provided a large platform through various convenings, be it online or physical, for the youth to participate in such talks of course, economic building, the social integration, and the security at large. So it's my plea that we involve. The second point I want to bring across is the fact that East African community talks have been happening within the region, and we cannot afford peace as a nation without involving the talk on East Africa. When we are speaking about peace as Uganda, we should be able to know about the peace of our neighboring countries within the region. And how can this be possible? Recently, there was an East African Community YouLead Summit in Arusha, Tanzania, which convened young people within the region to speak about different aspects that affect the region and integration. But the turn-up was, of course, there and online, and I must say people are interested in this, but the youth need to have more love towards this. They need to be intentional. They need to know that through integration of the community or the region, we can all together participate in security building. How can this be so? Of course, we cannot participate in the fights, but we can participate through having interest, the love, and availability. In that when you're called in just on short notice, you are actually there. Let's have interest, because with security within the region, we are going to have economic balance. We are going to ensure that we have food security, because, of course, we know very well insecurity has a lot of impacts and effects within the region, but together we can fight the problem. Together we can actually be a part of this. And lastly, there has to be capacity building of the youth. Being a youth leader, from where I come from, most youth are interested in this, like I said earlier, but the capacity building is lacking. We want to participate in these talks, we want to be a part of the nation building and the policy making processes, but our capacity is lacking. How about we have trainings going on? How about we have people who are actually brought within that line? Even if you are in media or you are an engineer, you can actually participate in peace building. So that is really my plea today, that even as we are being patriotic, even as we are having love for our country, because we cannot instill love in a person's heart, but we can change their mindset, and through this together we can thrive as a region. Youth within Uganda, East African community at large, we can all be a part of policy making and support the government in this, because it is us. In fact, we are the current generation. There is no future in this, because when the older people actually give us the spaces, we are the ones going to be there, and we have to reason it out very confidently and ably. Thank you.
My name is Nnamuleme Anna from Metropolitan International University. The youth should work in hand with the government, simply because the youths alone cannot manage, like they can't make it, simply because the most reasons as why most youths are involving themselves in violence is that they are poor, like they don't have money. So I advise the government to work in hand with the youth. For example, creating small business projects for the youth, so that they can be engaged. Like when these people are busy, like when the youth get involved into small business projects, they can keep themselves busy, and instead of involving themselves into violence, they will be busy making their money. Another thing is that regional imbalance. Allow me to talk about it, because most of the parts of the country are not yet well developed. So for that matter, most youths are moving from one place to another, are looking for the developed nations. So in the process of looking for that, youths are getting idle, because most of the places that they are going into are not having jobs. The government should try to balance the regions. For instance, the eastern, the north, and the east and the central should at least try to be at the same level, so that the youth who would have migrated to towns to cause violence stay in the villages. And another thing is that youths are having a poor mindset, whereby instead of maybe using social media for other productive issues, these people are ever on WhatsApp, maybe Facebook, creating different groups which are calling even upon calling upon violence and so on. So to me, I would advise my fellow youth to improve on the mindset, to change on the mindset, so that they can really look for the productive way of using those social media handles, and also the government to try to support the youth in all ways. And finally, I would advise the youths, most especially those who are at the universities, to be vigilant in that when they enter the universities, they should not even carry heavy bags, or maybe when they are entering, they should allow those people whom they find at the entrances to check them. Another thing is the government should also help other universities, because some of the universities are not having enough security. They are having few people at the entrances, so the government can also add on more security personnel. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Bosco Pio, a student of Metropolitan International University, at the same time a coordinator of Patriotism. Today we are going to talk about the responsibilities of youth toward the security of our country. It so happened that the youth are the majority according to population of the country. And the economists can also bear us witness that this country that has high population comprising of youth, they say that is a productive population. But again, to my understanding is that when you see a country that has a population that comprises of youth, but they are engaging so much in revolution of that country, both in political, economic, and social, that population is the productive population. But in a country like Uganda, you find our population is so much engaged in other activities that are not actually beneficial. For example, you find that youth are most engaging in betting, watching football, and other activities like causing insecurity. And that's a population which is very dangerous. Now, talking about the insecurity of our country and talking about the security of our country, mostly if you look at the people behind it and all the people forefront are the youth. One would say that if all youth are having the same idea of bringing security to the country, the police and other people responsible for the security would have little work to be done. But again, where you find youth are so much engaged in causing insecurity, the population are so much engaged in insecurity. And I would actually advise our youth that there are 4 aspects that we need to play very well if we want our security to be saved. One of it is political. When you talk about the political, one would think about what should youth do in order to move our country politically. And according to me, that if we are to move far with our politics in causing security, not insecurity, one would think that politics, the idea of politics is to change something and to bring justice to people and service. And then when we talk about the democracy, one would think about what should benefit the majority rather than minority. And this is what is now we have failed to understand as youth. A case in point, you realize that most of our youth are very active in causing riot in the name of political change. But I myself, I would think that a change is not about changing the offices. It is about changing the idea, leaving the bad one and bringing the good one. And that is, according to me, I think that is a change. But if you find youth are actively participating in riot in the name of bringing change, then that's where you find that a lot of insecurity are caused. Secondly, I will talk about the aspect of job. The role of the government is only to provide a fertile ground for the youth to participate in the economy. But there is no anywhere where the government will provide 100% job to the population. What now brings about job is that being creative and getting knowledge, something that will make you to survive. And when you go to the developing country, you will find that most of youth are not so much minding about the job government will give them, but rather they will think about the knowledge they would acquire and put it in practice. And I think that's where the youth would actually actively participate. And I would also think about that if we as youth, we are all very, very vigilant of what we are supposed to do, something that have happened should have not happened. And I would also think that youth should actually participate in actually seeing that all of us, we are collectively participating toward making sure that there's peace in our country. And one would actually see what is the neighbor doing. Is something that the person doing is toward bringing the security to that particular place, and if not, what should he do? And I think that is what we are supposed to do. And that's, I myself, I think that we have failed to do that. And let me talk about other issue that one would think that is the one bringing the insecurity. That is based on the religions. To me, I think it is not true, but we have some few people who are misinterpreting the concept of the religions in bringing insecurity in the country, and they are actively used toward that. You realize that most of these recent bombing that happened, one would think it is used that is actually actively participating. To some extent it's true, but you find that even the people behind it are the elders. So my advice to you is that do not do something that they have failed to do. You really will not accept to go and bomb somewhere when they have failed to do it. A person who is sending you to go and do that, that person should have been the first to do it. Then you will come later and do it. And if the person has failed to do, I'll assure you that you can do it. This is something that you should actually live. We should be actively participating in building our economy. We should actually think about the patriotism. When I talk about the patriotism, is bringing a love for our country. And that's me, I think that when we participate like that, it will be better. Thank you.
So basically what we can have from all this discussion is that, you know, your individual security, your community security, and the nation's security really is a determinant to a lot of things. Talk about the economy. Anyone who is going to be coming here to invest their money, the first thing they say, the first thing they are going to think about is, am I going to be secure? Is my money going to be secure here? And all those investments, when they come here in the country, it's us benefiting. We're getting the jobs. So basically, the security of the country should be everyone and each one of us' concern. Yeah. Exactly. Cathy?
And I'm thinking these things of having this in our minds that, okay, they're offering me some small money, so if I do this, then I don't mind about other people. Like, it could be like someone being paid some small money, but when you're accepting that money, think of the family that you're going to leave behind. They might promise you that, yes, they're going to look after them, but think of the people that are dying, their families they're leaving behind. What are they going to do if they've been the breadwinners of the family? And then you're just putting so many innocent people's lives at risk. They do not know what exactly is happening, but you're just accepting this small money because it's just benefiting you, and probably some of them are actually dying. So if you're dying, you're dead. You're gone. No one knows about this deal. So if they had promised to look after your family, you don't know whether they're looking after them or what. Again, something else, it's like if someone has come from nowhere, they're giving, okay, hold for me this bag, you're just holding it. What's in the bag?
So we should be conscious about people around us.
Exactly. Like
even if you're
probably moving around and then someone says, or probably you sit at usually around the bus, the bus stations, usually where people sit, and then you just sit, and then someone comes, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, please, could you keep for me my bag? You first be like, why would he trust me with their bag? They don't know me.
Yeah, but you see, some people are even sometimes a bit hesitant. You're entering a building and the security person wants to check you, and you know you don't want to be checked. It's for your own good. This security person is not the one who is going to benefit from this.
In your bag,
yeah,
it's okay. Just open the bag, and show them.
Exactly. So it's for our own security. When you get to these malls and stuff, in fact, you should be the one remind. I'm happy. Yesterday I was entering into a bank. And then someone just came. I think they knew the security guard, and they just entered. And the lady that was behind me insisted, why did that person enter with their bag? And they had to bring them back to be checked. Well, and I really liked that. And it should be our responsibility as all Ugandans to do that. The moment they ask you to be checked, please just make sure that you be cooperative with the security personnel, but also any other person that you feel you're not sure about, the way they treat themselves, the way they behave. Someone is just there sweating, not comfortable, the way they are, you know, it's easy to suspect someone who is going to be, for example,
Like
a suicide
there's a
bomber.
way someone behaves in some abnormal way that
Exactly.
they also make you feel suspicious.
Yes,
of them.
they'll behave in
And
a very
again,
suspicious
I
way.
don't want us to leave everything to the police. Like people are saying, it's just their job. It's not. It's everybody's role.
True.
Everybody.
So as a country, this is a time for us to come together and make sure that we work towards making sure that our nation is secure, but also you as an individual, you are secure. Youth of Purpose is show brought to you by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Core Office of the President under the theme
Uganda first.
and by making sure that our nation is secure and playing your role as a Ugandan. That is a patriotic role. Cathy.
Well, as Ugandans, let's love our country. Let's make sure that we are trying so hard to keep the peace, the security. That's all.
Thank you so much for watching Youth of Purpose. This show is always right here every Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. And again, the repeat is on Sundays at 9 p.m. Follow me on my personal handles at I_Tumkundo on Twitter, I_Tumkundo on Facebook, and I_Tumkundo on Instagram.
Why give us the hard time? I'm Ishimwe Cathy everywhere.
Thank you so much. See you next time.
Youth of Purpose. Brought to you by Uganda First.
Introducing Learn from Home Data Bundles. Customized bundles for you and your family to study or work seamlessly from the comfort of your home. Use any of these affordable data bundles to connect to your MiFis, routers, laptops, tablets, and smartphones while avoiding unwanted internet exposure and ensuring